Good afternoon. It is Saturday, May the 2nd, and it is 5:05 in the afternoon. I was going to do it earlier, and then there's a bit of the patio in the garden that when it's sunny is really nice and sunny, so I wanted to sunbathe for a bit because for years and 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 more years, keep going for a little bit because, you know, I've been alive for nearly 5 decades. I didn't have my legs out in the sun or wear shorts or skirts or dresses. So, or at least if I did, certainly not without any tights or anything. So my legs are super, super white and it's almost like they reflect the sun away from them. Anyway, so I was having a sunbathe. I'm just stopping the cat from getting on me because I wanted to show you my new t-shirts. From a band that I love and adore, and they all are the fucking Bollocks, every single member of them, and that's the Lost Cherries. So this is one of their t-shirts I'm wearing today, with some very, very fetching flowery shorts I've been wearing in the garden. So that's one of them, and then the other t-shirts I bought was there's Marie and Liz singing Lost Cherries, and there is the feminist anarchist symbol, Lost Cherries, again, and finally, another one. So I'm really, really pleased with these. Thank you very much. And the drummer actually in the Lost Cherries, they're all, I mean, everybody is just really, really cool. In the Lost Cherries, they sing about some really important fucking shit, and they all sort of follow through on what they say. And also the drummer creates Matt creates some of his own art books. So this is one of the first books he did, and I keep on meaning to get it. So when I got the t-shirts, I also got the book, which I haven't read yet because I've been doing other things, but I'm really, really looking forward to. It's actually really nice. These t-shirts fit really nice. Sometimes when you get women's t-shirts, they kind of fit really strangely, but these are a really nice fit. So thanks, Matt, and thanks, Lost Cherries, for existing, because you fucking rock. I can't hope that you were due to play Wonk Unit this year, so I hope that you're going to play next year when we have the postponed Wonk Unit 2021. Yeah, who else have I been listening to? I've been listening today to Sturdy Wrists, which is a duo from Brighton, and sorry I don't know the other member. Charlie is the lead singer, and then also Grace Savage's new single that came out yesterday. I have quite an eclectic taste of music, so it's often the case that I'll listen to something really chill, but also really fucking hardcore and punk. There's also a compilation that all the money, or a lot of the money, goes to charity at the moment, from I think Manchester Punk Festival, but I'll have to have a look, and I'll probably link that as well. And there's like 155 lots of people. I can't say the word. Compilation? You all know what I mean. Like a group of people, different bands on the same list. We're going to call it a list of things. Yeah, so I've been listening to that. So that's Lost Cherries, Sturdy Wrists, and Grace Savage. Some of those can be found on Bandcamp and some on Spotify. But I'll write their names. So if you want to go and have a listen, go have a listen. The music is not necessarily to everybody's taste, obviously not, but compilation. Thank you, Janet. I can't, seriously, I don't know why I can't say that word. It's like C-N-N-O-M-E. I can't say it if I try and say it faster than that. So yeah, so I love a I didn't used to wear band t-shirts, but I started sort of getting into it because actually they're the easiest thing to shove on. Yeah, and they're not always natural. The women's fit is nice because it's made for women's like curvier bodies like mine, which is handy because it's nice to feel comfortable, right? I've been out for a walk today. I've done my guitar lesson, but I think I got over the hump from a couple of days ago, and I tuned into the Buddhist Centre this morning, But you know what? I so badly didn't want to get up this morning. It was sort of, the time was ticking on, and I ended up getting up not in time for breakfast. So that was fine though. I did manage to make a coffee and put some washing out because it's a nice day today. And the meditation really helped today. And a lot of it was a kind of, the feeling I got was about how to make this time meaningful. And I guess that's a question for a lot of time anyway, how to make things meaningful, because even though I've just showed you stuff and music, our meaningfulness has to become from within, probably, doesn't it? But also giving to others is sort of meaningful too. Yeah, but I'm really enjoying the Buddhist Centre, and I kind of sort of started going because I love the vibe there, and another friend had said I should try the course. She had done it, and I thought, well, okay, yeah, I couldn't make the one that she was on, which I was hoping to do, but I did make the one after that, and then the second one, and then it got locked down, so we just started the introduction this week, and actually I'm really enjoying the whole learning about the Dharma, I think it's called, which is the knowledge of the Buddha, of enlightenment, and just the whole stuff to do with Buddhism, which is cool. You know, I'm all for this whole fucking spreading words of just learning shit for enlightenment and joy and meaningfulness and all of that shit, rather than the sort of, I'm not religious, but I guess I'm spiritual, and I'm really enjoying it. And I think I'm going to email them, because they've emailed us after our first week, those of us on the introduction course at the moment, and to ask what they suggest to read first, because I had a quick look, but there's so many books out there I couldn't possibly decide what to read first. Myself and Elliot had a movie night last night, and we watched Seven Samurai. And I kind of thought, well, I don't know how this is going to go. I didn't know it was quite so old, so I think it's 1954. It was first filmed in, and I forgot to pick up the DVD case to have it here. But I think the director is Kira something. And it was fascinating to watch. The cinematography was amazing. It didn't... See, the weird thing is, and this is the thing, when you've done a martial art, of which I've now done two, hey Chris, when you then watch something and you've done a martial art, you think that wouldn't work, or you couldn't do it like that, or you know, that is not how fights happen. And then I do my second martial art, and that involves weapons, sports equipment, and that involves swords and other Budo items. And you're like, well, why would you risk clashing your blade? Because you wouldn't do that. You'd maybe block with the back or the side of the blade, but if you were to block at the front of a katana, a Japanese blade, there's no way you would, because A, they were too valuable. If you were also a poor samurai, like the Seven Samurai in the film, poor money-wise, that is, there was no clashing of blades. If anything, it showed maybe an accidental clash, but I didn't notice anything. What I did notice was some of the stuff that looked like our style, which is Tenshinryu, and that's a warrior style, and it was fascinating to watch, to see some of the stuff that we do is in that film, which was amazing. Myself and Elliot were wondering if there was any photos that existed. We haven't had a proper look though of how their costumes were actually coloured, because even though the film makes it look very it's black and white, so the film makes it look quite dull, I noticed that there was lots and lots of colourful, what looks like they could be colourful patterns. So we noted cherry blossom, I think we noticed lotus flowers, cherry blossom, some sort of spiral. I wasn't sure what the spiral signified, one of their mons, or patterns on their costume, and it was fascinating. It was a really, really good film. We really enjoyed it. It's quite long at sort of, I think it's 3 hours 19 minutes or something, so you're invested in this film for quite a long time, but actually it's very different from modern films. It's the build up to the actual scenes where the actual fighting is very, very I think it's 2.5 hours, maybe a bit less. But you don't mind because you're following this fascinating story of these different types of samurais, and the characters were really amazing. And I kind of got the impression, and I haven't read up any of the film premise or what was going to happen. I just knew that there were 7 samurai because it's called 7 Samurai. And I kind of got the impression that the 7 samurai signified 7 different types of personalities and characters. And they were very different, and they acted differently. They had different personalities, but how they almost like, I wonder if there's something to do with the 7 different virtues, or I think there's maybe more, or to do with virtues or personality or something, because it was quite fascinating how the samurai were very different, but yet the core of kind of who they were was very, very settled. They were very humble, most of them, and yet they had these skills, and they didn't. And you know, there's one particular character that does something, and it's like, okay, well, I did it. It's done, and the character doesn't feel the need to boast, and it's quite something to just do something, get it done, and just go, okay, well, it's done now, and not make a big deal out of something. And I think that's quite an interesting way that the whole film sort of, everybody didn't have very much at all, and you know, these villagers want to protect their village from bandits, and so they go looking for samurai to sort of guard them and help them. And something that I noticed that the samurai actually do quite a lot, and they couldn't have done it without the villagers, is that they arm the villagers and they show them how to use these spears, very simple spears made out of bamboo. They're actually just cut at the end and sharpened. But the bit that I got was the thing that struck me most about the film, or one of the things that struck me most about 7 Samurai, was that the samurai give the farmers hope that something can change and something can be done. And I can understand why Budo weapons came into existence, that those that were poor were fed up with people marauding their villages and taking what they'd worked hard all year for, and were left eating things like millet. And and so these bandits had taken all their rice from before, or most of their rice. And so the thing that the samurai gave, even though they're there to fight and they fortify the village in places, and in other places they create gaps for an enemy to get through, so that enemy can be dealt with in a very strategic way. So there was quite a few themes. It was just this thing of calm hope and just getting on with the job. And I think it resonated quite a lot, obviously, because of what is happening at the moment. You know, these farmers think that they have nowhere to go with what their life is like. I mean, they're uneducated, they're poor, they live hand to mouth, literally. If they don't create what they eat, they starve. But what they gain, I think, from this is that they're, you know, the hope that they can, once they join together and someone actually manages to give them that hope, that they start to create that hope for themselves. Anyway, I love the 7 Samurai. It's not my copy, it's my Super Sensei, Shihan's copy, and so we'll have to give him back, but I think I will invest in my own copy. And I'd like to know more about the film now that I've watched it. I don't tend to like finding out about films that I watch before I watch them, because I think sometimes it can spoil them, and I want to make up my own mind about what I think the film was about and what it meant to me. And I think that's with all creation, stuff that's been created, whether that's film or a t-shirt or artwork or a building, it's for that feeling of what do I feel when I look at this, smell this, touch this, taste this, hear this, see this. I really enjoyed it, actually. I think it's myself and my daughter this evening are going to watch a film. I'm not sure what we're watching yet, but I guess we'll find out soon enough. I've been trying to walk a bit more. I've taken the dog out, but I think it was too hot for him earlier, so he just kept on trying to turn around. So the walk wasn't as nice as the one I had yesterday, which was really cool, and managed to get a really, really nice film of the Kestrel hovering over South North Country Park. And actually, I think I'll edit it to take out the back bit, but and then put it up somewhere. I do love a little bit of bird watching. It drives my kids mad though when they go for a walk with me, because I'm always stopping to touch a leaf or a flower or smell them or wander off and like, yeah. I mean, if they think it's going to drive them mad now, can you imagine when I'm actually a lot older and even more stubborn and set in my ways. So it'd be daughter, film later. I did have a lovely lunch cooked by the eldest child, which was nice after my Buddhist centre morning. And then so I did the Saburi challenge the first week, and I didn't feel like it this week, but I do think that I will do it again next week when his arms recover. But my littlest did it all over again, so he did 5 days of 100, 300, 500, 700 and then 1,000 cuts in a day. So bless him, his arms are a little bit achy, but he just wanted to do it again. If anybody is interested in some of the sort of samurai stuff that I do, our webpage is www.tenshinwarrior.co.uk, I think, and in there on the 2020 are all the forms that our Yodokan schools have done at the beginning of lockdown. So there's the tachi on there, which are the standing forms, and the seiza are on there as well, which are the kneeling forms. And different people from different schools, I think 3 or 4 different schools, have done one of each, with my Shihan doing Tsukino Jodankai, which is the a beginning form, like a form that everybody does. Everybody does all the others as well. And it's quite interesting to watch. There's also photos on there of those people that completed the TK challenge, which I just talked about, the Saburi challenge. So lots of bits and pieces today. I hope some of this has been of interest to you, and I hope that you're doing okay. I hope that you're finding distractions that at least keep your mind a little bit occupied if you need it, and if you need to make those connections, want to chat, want a message, please do, even if it's not to me, just someone else. Just pick someone, and just be honest. Just say, look, I need to make a connection today. I'm feeling a bit shitty, and because when a friend reached out to me on Thursday, it really, 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 really helped. So stay safe, everybody, and have a good Saturday afternoon, evening.